welcome to World of Tank gameplay reviews with Fireverm. This replay is from February 24th, 2014, and it features the JagdTiger 88 on the Arctic map starting from the south spawn. This is World of Tank's client 8.11, and in 8.11 they had an interesting feature called Confrontation. In Confrontation, each team consisted of solely tanks from one nation. This way it kind of seemed a little more historical, where you weren't fighting with right alongside with vehicles from separate nations. So as you can see in this one, my side are purely German tanks and the enemies are purely Russian tanks. But realistically, it never made much of a difference in each one of the battles. So on Arctic in the south spawn, I either have a choice of going up the west flank or going east and supporting that flank. With the JagdTiger 88 being a turretless tank destroyer, I find it's smarter to support the east here and fight along the cliff. Now, because this particular match was played while I was overseas on a very poor satellite connection, instead of fighting right along the edge of the cliff, I'm going to hang back and do more of a supporting role from this rock over here. I'm also planning on doing it from the right side, as I feel that the gun traverse is good enough that I should be able to angle effectively against the enemies coming around the cliff. As the enemies start to pop up, I look at the mini-map and notice I got decent support. I got 4 heavies and a medium with another tank destroyer behind me. Oh wow, there's even more enemies here. I fire at the IS-6 and fortunately pen the side, which is very lucky. I back up just in time to miss a couple of shots, and now I take a shot at that IS-6 and bounce right off his upper plate. I aim carefully now at his drive wheel to track him in place, but I'm a little late and that bounces off his upper plate too. I take a poor shot here at the T-34-85 and bounce off his mantlet. And now I start taking some shots from the IS-6 and the KV-1S. I back up now to try to avoid taking any more shots. And notice that I just really can't get any shots at anybody. So I'm moving forward a little bit and I'm angling for a shot now at this KV-1S. And I luckily go through his turret there. So now I try to get a shot on the T-34-85. I'm aiming in, and I receive a huge hit from, I believe, the IS-6 that destroys my engine and takes off near 400 damage. While I'm waiting for that to repair, I try not to take another hit. I bounce one shot there, I back up, and look for another shot on the T-34-85. I'm looking at the mini-map, and I notice that the enemies are starting to push forward on my guys over there by the cliff, and also that the T-34-85 is coming at me. I move forward to take a shot and able to get one right into him. Now I start to back up to make sure nobody else can shoot me, and luckily the T-34-85 puts one into the ground, but then I do the same. Now I know, like, he's a one-shot for me. I'm going to try to finish him off right here, and luckily I do, and I turn my attention to this IS-3 that has swung around to try to flank my guys here. And he's now one shot for me too. I put one into his rear and he's done. I noticed that another KV-1S is pushing forward, and luckily get a shot into his rear, tracking him right in front of my guys. I don't have a shot because of that wreck, and that's when I noticed the IS-6 is moving forward. I take a quick shot and totally whiff it, and he luckily just tracks me. I shoot and bounce off his upper glacis, and now try to aim, and I don't know where that went, but I got really lucky in penetrating, and he just bounces off me again. I take another shot that penetrates, and I'm not even sure where I'm aiming. Oh, it's because I'm getting lucky and I'm hitting right on the beak of his hull. I focus now on this IS-6 that is swung around, and that's a pretty bad angle there. Oh, and I miss his turret, but still luckily penetrate the rear. And now this IS-3 is moving forward, gets hit by my team member and makes him a one-shot, and I secure the kill. So now I'm looking to use this dead tank in front of me as a little bit of cover so I can fire at the remaining enemies over here by the cliff. Take one shot at this KV-1S. Oh, and I just track him, doing no damage. And now I'm backing up to try to protect my hull. Bounce a shot there from a KV-1S, and the KV-2 luckily misses me. The KV-1S over on the left takes a shot and misses, and I put one into this KV-1S. This guy shoots HE at me and only does 90 damage, and I put one through his upper glacis there, and luckily now I'm secure, nobody can hit me. So what I do instead of pulling forward and exposing any of my hull, I'm going to back up this incline to get shots over this dead tank. I'm able to secure that kill on the KV-1S again. And now all we have that I can see anyway are the KV-2 and the KV-1S. But I want to be careful because with only 461 hit points left, if the KV-1S rolls high, he could one-shot me. And the KV-2, if he's shooting HE, which he damn well should be, can do 910 damage. So if he penetrates, he could one-shot me too. But I'm looking at my left flank here, or the west flank, and at first I felt like I needed to support them, but they took care of one of the heavy tanks, and now I'm feeling a little bit better about pushing up this east side, especially now that there's 3 heavy tanks over there, or enemy heavy tanks. I repaired my engine and tracks because this thing is just so sluggish on this type of terrain with the busted engine. So now I'm going to try to snipe some shots on this KV-2's turret between the gap here on these rocks. And I want to come and support this Tiger 1 before he gets nuked by any of these guys. And I'm glad that the Lerve's taking his time. But one thing I don't notice is if you look at the mini-map, there's a medium tank coming in flanking behind this. Now, while I didn't notice that, I was able to put a good shot into the KV-2, and he whiffs, shooting his shot right into the rocks in front of him. But now we're getting flanked, and I'm not paying any attention to it whatsoever. But luckily, right about now, our team members are typing in the chat that we need to pay attention, and the Lerver is about to take them out any second now. And it's a good thing too, because our Tiger just got killed, and if the Lerver had not secured the kill on that T-34, we would have been in real bad shape here. So now I'm going to push forward because one of these guys is just shooting HE, and I feel I can angle my my hull effectively not to take these shots. And so I blocked that one shot there, and as this guy tries to swing around me, luckily the Lerver kills him before I get shot again. And now there's just this one last guy. He's on low health. He's a one-shot, and he was shooting HE anyway, so I'm not super concerned about him. He does another like 60 damage, and no big deal. And I secure the kill and finish out the round. 7 kills. Now for the end plates. This was an ace tanker, my first on this tank actually. I got a Reaper, Steel Wall, and Top Gun. Did damage to 10 tanks, which is 2/3 of the enemy team, and received win rate of 8,137. I also was second in damage, getting 3,681, but first in experience, getting 1,490 base XP, which was almost 50% more than the top XP earner on my team. This was a premium tank, so I'm not surprised that I earned 81,478. But if you look at my potential damage received, I was able to block 4,600 damage in this battle. It was a good battle overall, and I'm glad I was able to do it even on my bad connection. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and I will talk to you next time.